Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again on this Tuesday. Um, as we talk about yesterday when we talked about the Dallas Cowboys winning that game against the Cincinnati Bengals, home game for Cincinnati. Um, uh, Andy Dalton having his basically comeback, his homecoming for the Cincinnati Bengals, and at the end of the game, he did the sign language call for "I love you" to his wife in the stands, which he used to do, from what I hear, when he was the quarterback for Cincinnati. So, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it was just Cincinnati, this and that and the third." The Cowboys, even though they blew them out, they did what they were supposed to. And if they didn't fumble three times, but you got to give the defense credit for the Cowboys. They came back in that game. They recovered three of those fumbles, and Alden Smith ran back for a 78-yard touchdown. So you have to give them their credit there. They did what they needed to do. This secondary, right? So we didn't have Anthony Brown. We didn't have Chidobe Awuzie because of quote unquote COVID. I don't know if he had it or had a test because he was around somebody, but either way, you didn't have your top guys. So Anthony Brown and Chidobe not there. Your top cornerbacks weren't there. So they had to start Rashard Robinson and Darian Thompson, and Reggie Robinson got a chance to play, and Savion Smith. So what I wanted to say about Savion Smith. So Savion Smith, is a forgotten guy, right? Savion Smith came in there, and I think he's Orlando Scandrick's old number, 32. He came out there and he was making plays and stuff like that. Apparently, he broke his hand in the game, and I didn't even remember seeing that. And then apparently, he came back and still played. So, shout out to him. Shout out to the secondary for not letting things go over their head, keeping everything in front of them and doing what they needed to do to win the game. Now, one thing that I thought was interesting too, and I thought about this too when I went back and looked at the game on the replay, because remember, it was not the game wasn't shown in on the eastern region where I live, so I didn't get a chance to actually watch the game live. So I had to literally go back and look at highlights. I had to go back and I had to actually rewatch the game. So as I rewatched the game, I noticed that DeMarcus Lawrence didn't start the game, right? I know he came in that next play, but the guy that you're paying the most money in your defense didn't start. Your leader of your defense didn't start the game. Mike Nolan got to go. I understand me when I tell you this. I'm not normally the one to try to get rid of people, but Mike Nolan got to go. And I know, like, and normally I try to give people chances their first year, but Mike Nolan got to go. I don't know how many times I got to say it. Mike Nolan got to go. You do not sit your starter on defense, your supposed leader on defense, and not start him starting the game. He said some BS about DeMarcus Lawrence was not a part of the base defense. First of all, what the fuck does that even mean? Excuse my language, but what does that mean? He's not. You're paying that guy that money. He needs to be a part of that base defense. So you put in who in place of him? Dorrance Armstrong. So you start Dorrance Armstrong over your leader in DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Tank Lawrence. Okay. I don't know what world we live in where that makes damn sense, because only Cowboys would do some crazy mess like that, because I don't know any other defensive coordinator in this league that would do that. And that's like Denver not starting Von Miller. That's like the Rams not putting Aaron Donald in the first play of the game. That's like Steelers not putting TJ Watt in the starting lineup. Where they do that at? That's the question that I have. Where do they do that at? Apparently, the Dallas Cowboys, that's who. Because that was just a crock of BS. You do not sit your starter. Even DeMarcus Lawrence was like, oh, so I'm not a part of the base defense? All right, I'll go sit on your little bench. And then what happened when DeMarcus Lawrence came right back in the game the very next play? He forced a fumble. Like, where do you know? Because where they do that at? Yeah, Mike Nolan got to go. He got to get up out of here. Because that's just dumb. What the hell are you thinking as a coordinator to not start? I can't even fathom the mental process of that. There's no excuse for that. Hit me with this base defense BS. So Dorrance Armstrong is a part of the base defense, but DeMarcus Lawrence ain't. What does this base defense detail or entail? Just freaking stupid. Then DeMarcus Lawrence comes in and makes plays. What the hell? I'm pretty sure if DeMarcus Lawrence was in there, it probably would have been a sack on the first play of the game. But, it is what it is. We know that DeMarcus Lawrence had a slow start of the season, but then he came back and started doing much better. And because we know that he was dealing with that knee injury in the beginning of the season, then trying to learn what Mike Nolan was trying to teach them, and, he wanted to come in and do all this exotic shit. He had him standing up. DeMarcus Lawrence is a 4-3 end. He is not a 3-4 guy. He's not going to... we talked about this 4-3-3-4 thing, and that 3-4 thing is not going to work. And I don't even know why I know why they signed Mike Nolan, because, that's Mike McCarthy's guy. He was doing him a favor, this, that, and the third. But it got to go now. He has to be the example to be set. Because I guarantee you, they get another coordinator in here, this defense, with the same players, will play much better. We give Jalen Smith so much shit. It's not that he doesn't know what he's doing. Let me give you a caveat. Let me explain something that you might not understand. See, I played the linebacker position, and I know how the Mike, the Will, the weak side, the strong side, the middle linebacker. I know how that works, and I know the type of linebacker that I can play, like the positions that I can play as a linebacker, and I know what Jalen Smith can do, and I know what Leighton Vander Esch can do. You can tell by the way they play. Why the fuck would you move Leighton Vander Esch from an outside guy to an inside guy at middle linebacker when your job is to be there in that middle and taking on all those tackles when you got a bad neck? Why would you make a guy... Now, granted, he can do it, but why would you do that? I'm sorry. My mistake. They made Jalen Smith the middle linebacker. They moved Vander Esch out. It should have been the other way around, right? Because if your guy's playing sideline to sideline, you're getting hit, or you're hitting more than the person that's in the middle, right? The person in the middle is more like the quarterback of the defense, which is what Leighton Vander Esch is good at doing, because Leighton Vander Esch is a... He played 8-9-man ball or whatever when he was, back home in the woods and stuff. So that's what he did. He played quarterback before. So making him being a linebacker at Boise, him being the leader on that said defense and calling the plays for that defense, which is the quarterback of the defense, why would you not continue him doing that with the Cowboys and leave Jalen Smith where he played better at before when we had Marinelli's system? But no, you move these guys around, and now they're playing like they don't know what they're doing. Now, granted, it's coming around, but you wasted all these weeks of football by playing guys in a wrong position. So I just don't agree with what Mike Nolan was doing. I don't agree with who he had in his personnel, like which guys was doing what, and the decision making just didn't make sense. So I'm done with the Nolan project because me personally, I've seen these same guys on this defense, these core guys that we have that a lot of fans now are saying, what the fuck was wrong with them? I've seen them play better than this. I've even seen Xavier Woods play better than this. So I don't know. Some of these guys are gonna get kicked off this team, and I think kind of unfairly because of the simple fact that Mike Nolan made him look like a damn fool. And I know some of you guys say effort, and I don't want to, like, I get it, I agree, but there's when I watch the tape, I also see confusion too. Like it's almost like Mike Nolan told them to do this, but in their mind, they're like, I'm used to doing this, so this is what I really want to do, but I know he want me to do this, so it's almost like they're confused, so they're thinking too much when they're playing. So this is the thought process, and I think this is coming from a person that played football, right? If a coach is telling you something where you and your heart don't agree with, in your mind, you're going to do athletically what you think will make the play, not what the coach wants you to do. So then when you end up doing what the coach wanted to do and it doesn't work out and you're like, shit, I should have did it the way I wanted to. Then the next game you do it the way you wanted to, but it doesn't fit what the coach wanted to do, and now you're in the wrong position, if that makes sense to you guys. So I really think it's just a situation where Mike Nolan was asking these guys to do different things that they shouldn't have been doing. From Jump Street, he should have made it about the players, not about the scheme. And that's what we talked about in this past offseason, that's what it was going to be coming in, but they didn't continue it like that. You're trying to form fit these guys in something that doesn't make sense. You're trying to put a circle in a square peg, and it doesn't work. So that's it. And then with the whole Ezekiel Elliott thing, I hear people talk about, oh, is he not good enough? Is he going to be injury prone like Todd Gurley? Is he going to be this? Is he going to be that? You hear all this stuff going around in the air, right? Understand Ezekiel, ain't nothing wrong with Ezekiel Elliott. Do you know what it is? They're not utilizing him correctly. Now, I hate giving props to Jason Garrett, but I have to here. When Jason Garrett was here, we utilized Zeke Elliott right. We ran the damn ball, we ran the damn ball, and we ran the damn ball. All Kellen Moore has to do, because he was here during that time, all he has to do is go back and look at the game tape from last year, the year before, under Jason Garrett's offense, like they're still kind of running. Look at the games and look at the way they were using Zeke Elliott. And hell, you could put the man on a wheel route and confuse the defense as well, because we don't do that often, and it's going to work every time, barring depending on what DB is following him. But if you go back and look at what Zeke was doing before, and again, I don't want to see him getting under 15 carries. Yes, I want to see Tony Pollard as well, but you got to mix it up in a way that makes sense. When you're getting your short yardage, you're trying to grind yardage, you're going to use Ezekiel Elliott because he's a power back. When you switch it up to Tony Pollard is when the momentum starts to shift, and when you're out there and you're churning yards, and then you put Tony Pollard out there fresh and run, give Zeke Elliott a break, and then put him right back in there and grind them damn runs. They're not doing that. The ground game wasn't that good with the Bengals, against the Bengals. But there's ways around that. And I understand that a lot of it has to do with the offensive line. See, that's what people don't understand too. I don't care how good of a back you are. If your offensive line isn't doing what they need to be doing, you're not going to get the best of the runs either. Look at Barry Sanders. All those years wasted because he had a terrible offensive line during his era. But that's it. That's pretty much it. And at the end of the day, that's just what it is. Now, we talked about all of this. I just think that things need to change going forward when it comes to that. We got the 49ers coming up this week. That's a very winnable game because they got Mullins or whatever quarterbacking. I watched the 49ers and how they played against Washington. You definitely could get that W. I know some fans are like, oh, I want to get the top 5 pick. It doesn't really matter at this point. It don't matter. Even if you win out, you're still going to get a good draft spot. So it doesn't matter. Just play out these games, be competitive, do what we need to do in the season on a positive note. I want to see us get on a win streak and just win and just get out of the season on a positive note. Get ready for Dak Prescott and company to come back for next season. And let's have a great off season, because me, I'm still gonna be doing these videos. I'm still gonna be grinding out what I need to be doing. So I had something else, but I forgot. Because I always remember right after I stop recording the video. I hate that. But yeah, because I be having so many things in my head. Because I go back and I be working during the day, and I just be thinking about certain things that I want to talk about. And those are the topics I wanted to hit. So guys, what I said in this video, let me know what you guys think about what I said, because you know I'm very cerebral when it comes to this football thing, and you know, and I like to and I like to explain certain things that some fans that don't really know the game of football like that, to try to educate them so they know. Because I want my Dallas fans to be educated. I want, when other fans come and talk that mess to us, I want us to be able to reverberate that information and throw it back at their ass like a dragon. That's it. So with that being said, y'all, like, share, comment. It's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real.